Okay, so finally, Autodesk Assistant Artificial Intelligence is here. Tech preview. So we'll see, can it finish my project without me? Please finish this project of single family house. And of course you have to instruct it to make no mistakes, because we don't want any mistakes here. Will it replace me? Could you please clarify what aspects of project you needed for finish? Yeah, I need all of the above, and let it rip. Okay, so Autodesk Assistant finished my project. Everything is printed, everything is done. The deliverables location is shown here. And let's ask, what does it think about the plan that I made? Do you like the plan? Any comments of what can I improve? And there is some comments. Yeah, something seems to be missing, but let's check out the PDFs. Yeah, everything is here. Plans, elevations, sections, legends, schedules. Basically everything is ready. Everything is ready for submission. I don't know about you guys, but this is the future. So let's move on to the next feature. And now Revit has hosted walls. So basically what you can do, you can host one wall onto another wall. It's similar as aligning, but not quite. So you can basically select one wall as a host to another wall, and it kind of helps if you're building wall structures as multi-wall construction, so that it's not just a single wall with multiple compound layers, but multiple walls together. So now you can kind of join them all together. They're locked together. Now you can set it up the offsets from the host wall, and that can help you to build these structures. So it's similar to locking, as I said, and you can see if you move one wall, the hosted walls are also moving. You can also have you can pick new hosts, right, for this wall. You can move them and stretch them, but they will still be hosted on one to one another. You can also attach additional walls, so you can have multi-layer wall structure, which is basically hosted onto one another. And this might come in handy. Yeah, I think we will probably also use this, because we are building like walls which have like some hosted walls on top of them. And you can see you can also manually move them, basically move away from the host. But then, okay, this is joined. But then if you move the host, every other hosted wall is moving along. Would be nice to have possibility for negative offset value, but okay, it is what it is. And overall, I think this is a nice feature. It will give you more consistent workflow when working with these multi-layer walls. So you can basically join all them together and have one construction. And next we have improvements to the tags. And this is a very, very weighted feature. Right now you can see if I place the tag, I have options to manipulate the leaders of a tag. And you can see here, for example, this is the tags that I like, the simplest one, with the text, with the box around the text, and you can more easily edit the placement of the leader. You don't need to create some invisible lines anymore, and so on and so on. So you can just move this leader around, and you can see here I have two types of tags. One is with the lines in it. If you edit the family, you can see we have like standard lines around, and then we have the simplest one, which is the text with the border around. That's the one I like. And both of them work very well with the new feature. We can very easy move around both ends of the tag of the leader. And yeah, I think this is great feature. More control over the annotations. And this feature should have been there long time ago. So very nice, finally. And next we have kind of a continuation of a feature that was started in previous Revit, which is moving away from options bar to the ribbon, and we can see that now for every element that previously had some options bar, now that information is moved to the ribbon. And yeah, I think that's a very nice feature, because previously it was like it was very hard to notice this option bar. Even for me, sometimes I forget that there is this feature that I need to look into the options bar, and then I forget about it. So it will take some time to get used to looking at the ribbon bar. For example, move, constrain, and disjoin now are like larger buttons. But overall, yeah, it's a nice feature. It will be much easier to teach people how to use the ribbon bar instead of the options bar. Okay, so next we have numbering. Under the Manage tab, you have numbering command, and here you can see you can create different numbering templates. And basically what it does, it creates automatic numbering of selected elements into the selected parameter. So now you can see here I have created filter, which is already used in numbering template. It's a basic selection filter. Right now it doesn't do much, it just selects all the doors. Next we have filter categories and we have parameter. You can easily create new parameter. It has to be instance type. So let's call this a test numbering. Let's select the doors. It has to be instance and it has to be of the data type of the text. And then what's important, you have to switch to vary by group instance, because it most definitely varies. Then you can select that one here, and then you can have different things you can do. You can have partition, and you can see I have already partition and partition from room or to room. So you can actually use the rooms as different partitions for these numbers. And then you have numbering format, also lots of different options and parameters you can use to number things, and prefixes, sample values, and so on and so on. And if I click OK, we can see that we have some doors here which are now numbered automatically. And this parameter test numbering, you can see this sign, numbering partition. We'll click on that, and what we can see here is a template. And then you can see what's numbered what is numbered and how it's numbered. So we have starting value. We can also see, let's apply this one. And we can see that now in use we have doors 1 to 2 on levels here like that. So I have multiple like partitions. So these numbers are kind of partitioned by the level and by the rooms. And if I edit the template and let's say I don't want to partition these numbers by the room, I'm just gonna remove that. And now I'm gonna partition them only by the level. And when I go back, I see that on a level 1 I have doors 1 to 4. On a level 2 I have doors 1 to 2. And yeah, so now you can number a lot of different things automatically. And that's nice, you know. Previously we used some Dynamo scripts, now I can do that natively into the Revit. And the last feature I want to talk about is accelerated graphics. It is kind of finally out of tech preview, so now it's official. I don't even know what that means, if it's out or not, but they have added more features that it can display. So, for example, transparency overrides. They have halftone settings that they can display now, section box and view extents, and improved performance and quality of the linked Revit models. So in each version they are gradually adding more and more features it can display, and at some point it should be that the accelerated graphics view is just a standard view, like everything is accelerated, and I can't wait for that day for sure. As you can see here on this old PC, it doesn't do much. I just have a very consistent slow frame rate. If I turn it off, sometimes the elements are kind of missing and hidden, and it just loads these elements for some time. But if I turn the accelerated graphics on, it's just very low frame rate, but more consistent. But you have to keep in mind that this is very old PC with very old, even though dedicated NVIDIA GeForce graphics card, it's still mobile and it's still very, very old. But if you have newer PC, newer graphics card and dedicated graphics card, check out what is the minimum requirements, and you should be good. Basically, it should give you a hint of what kind of PC you should buy, what kind of graphics card you should buy for future, to be like future proof, so that Revit runs fast and the next versions. And I guess that's it for architecture and overall best features in my opinion in Revit 2027. There are still more features under the hood in structural and in coordination, and also in energy models that I don't cover in this video. But yeah, not much. So we'll see. Maybe some features are added later into upcoming updates throughout the year, as sometimes Autodesk likes to do. And I have seen this trend where they kind of rush the main version and then add some features later in the updates. Was not like that before, but right now it seems to be the case. And as a small bonus feature, I can mention that now they have this recommended for you panel right into the main menu when you open the Revit Home. I think it's a nice feature. They have also improved the tutorial section in Autodesk documentation. And before this, the panel was onto the left on my insights only, so now it's more visible to new users. I think it's always good to learn something new. And I hope you learned something new from this video. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day and see you in the next one.